Are you tired of being stuck on your gas analyzer, Salewa, or flash drive quests? Well, friends, my name is Rengawr. I've got you covered on the best spawns. Let's jump right in. So I'm going to be showing you on reserve where to get all of his gas analyzers. Now, with that being said, they can spawn on woods, they can spawn on customs, they'll be on shoreline as well. On factory, they will not be on interchange. Do not go there for gas analyzers. You will not get them. Now, whenever doing a reserve for these routes, I recommend taking no backpack in the raid, so you can take the manhole extract, which is over here. We're going to start the route over at the Black Bishop building, which is at the front end of the helicopter. All we're going to do is run up the stairs to the 3rd floor of this building to the drop-down room. If you're familiar with Reserve at all, you will know this room is famous for having aces, GPUs, etc. There are tons of gas and spawning in here. I ran 5 raids, and I saw 3 gas sands in 5 raids, which is a lot better than I'm sure most of you have seen most of the wipe. So look through all of these shelves right here. These shelves as well as a vertex here, as you can see. And then there's other stuff as well. You will find gas hands here, I promise you. Now, once you loot this room, nothing else over here is really worth looting. I would jump straight out this window, and I would head this way. Now, you can do this route the other way, of course. So you can do it both ways. If you want to start this way or start the other way, you're allowed to do it both ways. But just so you know, you're allowed to do it either way. It doesn't really matter. Now, this is going to be called Queen or King building. Now, what you're going to do is run in here, and you're going to check the server racks. So all over here, there can be gas sands as well as on the floor as well. So make sure you're looking out. And then if they could spawn here, as well as there'll be glitched in here, so stick your face here. And there's also a glitch spawn here people know about. Just put your face around. You'll see a white dot if anything's there. There's nothing here right now. What you're going to do after here is go through this grate and go up to the 2nd floor of Reserve. When you go up to this building, you go to the left, and all the way over here at the end of the hall, pretty much, there is a spawn right here for gas sands on this green box. And then through this door, I got one of mine. Right here, this iridium is. It could also be right there, as well as on top of this box. And you could sometimes get stuff here as well. So I would check all of those. And there is also a tech spawn here. I have not seen a gas sand here, but I probably can spawn there, so keep your eye out there. And then what you can do is head towards the garage. You go up 1 floor, go this way, and you're going to go all the way down these stairs. And this will bring you right into the garage. And of course, you loot the garage first, whatever is easier for you. But all throughout here, wherever you see things spawning, gas sands are now in the loot pool. So just look around and see if you get any gas sands. I've seen 2 spawn right there. Just make sure that you are walking around and checking the spawns. And you can stick your face around here. They might be able to spawn in these shells. I'm not sure, but I'd check just to be certain. No one knows all the spawns yet. But that is the locations for pretty much get 10 gas sand spawns all together. And then you can head out the back of this building and head towards the manhole. Now, if you do find a gas analyzer, I would recommend that you put that in your container to discourage anyone that watches this video from actually camping the extract to kill you, because all you have on you is your gas and your container. So anything you have on you, either use a rig or use your container only. And you have to wait 7 minutes for a survive. So make sure that if you get to here, like I'm 2.5 minutes early, you get to be 33 minutes in the raid to leave. So what I'm going to do is I would wait over here and just chill in this hut until it's at 33 minutes remaining, and then I would go leave through manhole. But that'll be how you get your gas stands. Again, you could do customs, woods, etc. I got 1 off customs inside of new gas in the room with the duffel bag. And then I also got my 2 on reserve. So hopefully this is helpful and you can just keep speedrunning this. I probably got my 2 gas stands in 20 minutes by just speedrunning this over and over again. If there's no gas stands, just leave, reset, go again. Keep doing that. Hopefully it helps us. Now, if you're looking for Salewas, it's kind of the same idea. Again, we're going into raid with no backpacks. So we can leave through no bag. I have an empty container, and I have cheap meds in me that I can drop if I need to. And I also bring the biggest rig that I have, because this is all my storage. I don't have a backpack, so this is all my space. So we'll do the same kind of route. It's a little similar, but also a little more in-depth as well. I'll show you all the spawns so you know all of them. So starting off, we're going to go into the Queen/King building from the gym side, and we're going to go up this staircase right here. This is a hidden spawn. A lot of people don't know about this. In this door, there are med spawns everywhere. Here, here, there, and on the floor as well. And then this med bag right here. Now, anytime you see a med item spawning somewhere, in here is a Salewa right there. There you go. Any med spawn you see like this, a Salewa can be there as well. So keep note of any med spawns you see. Now, I would head down this way and head into the gym. And in the gym, there's a duffel bag that you can search right there. On the benches, you can also get Salewas. So I'd check this if it were me. And then you could also check the duffel bag in this room if you want as well. If you want to be quick, you don't have to do that. Now, heading directly out this door across the street, this is going to be White Bishop, otherwise known as Med Building. This is like the best building on the map for meds, because pretty much every single room on 1st and 2nd floor can spawn tons of meds. So, for example, we can go in this room on the right, and we can look around. There's med spawns on the floor, as well as on this shelf, and then on some of these shelves as well. Keep your eyes peeled, as well as look for the white dot for letting you know there's loose loot. Now, you could open this door, same idea. walk through, check for anything. I've seen Salewas there. You can get things over here, as well as over there. Same thing, go through literally every single room on first floor. I've seen Salewas spawn on the floor here. I've seen morphines here as well. You can get your morphines as well as your Salewas. You can get stuff on these piles of meds right there. And then also in this room, you see there's an AFAC on this far bed over here. That could be a Salewa possibly. And then you can also go up to the next floor, right up here. And same thing, you can go across the hall, and there's med spawns. There's a CMS kit there. There's a SJ6 there. All of those med spawns could potentially be Salewas. I got 3 of mine in one raid, which was actually kind of crazy. That's a key room. That's a KSM, I believe. Sorry, forgot about that. But you go through all through here, as well as this room. This is a really good room for meds. You can see you got meds here. There is a blood set here. This could all end up being Salewas if you get lucky. I got 2 of mine in that room, but any room, if you RNG it, will give it to you. This room as well is a closed room where you could also get more meds. There's a med spawn there. Med spawns on these shelves and on the floor. Just look around. And then that's it for this floor. But if you go to the basement, there's actually a couple more spawns for Salewas as well. Where if you come all the way down here, there are med spawns all right here, right there, right here, this way. And then there's a med box right here. But you also can come this way and loot a duffel bag back here, which could also have a chance to have a meds. It's a lower chance, but it definitely could have your med back here. So you can loot that. And we're not done yet. So this is the main part of, I guess, the route, those 2 buildings. But a lot of people do loot this. And when this guide becomes more popular, I want you to know more places to go. So when you finish looting this building, if you don't have any of your Salewas and you want to, keep running around, you can actually go out this way towards school/Black Bishop and go into the cafeteria down here. And on this bed in the cafeteria, you actually can get meds to spawn. I've seen Salewas spawn here recently when I was looking for food. You can get meds to spawn right there on this gurney, as well as you can get meds to spawn if you go towards Black Pond. You can cross the tunnels if you want, or you can go outside, whatever works for you. If you do feel confident going outside, however, this crate right here is actually a med crate. So you can come loot this for a chance to get some medical supplies as well, maybe get a Salewa. I don't typically loot this later on in the wipe, but like day 1, I was looting the hell out of this. So if you feel confident, maybe it's nighttime reserve, you can come down here and you can loot this. I got a Salewa right there. Boom, there you go. So be careful again. Like, this is scary. If bosses here, you're probably going to die. But like, if you're playing nighttime, it's a good thing to loot. And then you can also come this way to Black Pond, which is marketing building. And we're going to hit the 2nd floor in here. You come up the 2nd floor. There is going to be a tent area with a bunch of meds. There's a duffel bag right there if you want to loot that. And then over here is where you're going to see more med spawns. So if you come around this way, you'll see that there are med spawns there on these beds. There's a med bag right there. There's some more med spawns. And then we're not even done yet. If you go back down to first floor, you will see that there are more duffel bags on the first floor that you can loot for a chance to get some more meds. So for example, right there. On this couch, there's a duffel bag right there. There's a med spawn right there in that crate. See where the grizzly is? That could be a Salewa as well. And then there's also a duffel bag there. And in this room is a med bag as well. So you see this route is kind of crazy. And you can just do any part of this order. If you get any Salewas or morphines, this will help with your quest a ton. And then you can run it back and you can go again. And I do the same thing, leave through manhole. You could also leave through D2 if you want. You can leave through hermetic if that's how you want to do it. But you could also go crack house. You can go fortress. You can go to the camps on woods. That also works as well. You can go to mantis and interchange. This is just the most consistent route, and I feel like it gives you the quickest resets. Why this is so good for both gas hands and Salewas and morphines is you can just quick reset. So you just get, if there's nothing there, you reset, and there's like 30 spawns you check over and over again. So hopefully that's helpful, guys. So for flash drives, there are like 3 really good routes for it. I want to show you all 3 routes just to make it a little bit easier for you. But one of my favorites actually is, again, on reserve, is you come to this little free hut at Dome, and inside of here, there is a safe as well as 2 sets of filing cabinets. So every filing cabinet as well as the safes have a chance to spawn them. If you have RBKPRL, you could also loot that, and there's 2 more safes in there. And then once you loot that, you're actually going to come down this way, down towards D2. Now, down towards D2, there's quite a lot of things, and you can flip along the way. You can bring a backpack for this route if you want, because of the fact we are going to be leaving through D2 most likely. So you head all the way down here. You can loot duffel bags up by Dome if you want to as well. You don't have to, but you can if you want, just like kind of kill some time. What you're going to do is head all the way down. Here's a duffel bag right down right there. If you want to loot that on the way down, you're more than welcome to. I would probably loot it if I was doing this route. Once you head down this way, what you're going to do is go into D2 and you're going to go to the left. Now, what we're looking to do down here is we want to actually loot the safe that is down here at D2. So we'll check this out, open this up, and I want you to go ahead and loot the safe that is back here. And then once you loot that, you're going to go ahead and loot all of these filing cabinets. And then there's intel spawns here if you want to check those out. And then all you're going to do is just run towards D2. Because what's going to happen is everyone that comes to reserve is pretty much rushing the bunker on reserve. They're rushing the power room because there's a chance when you hit the power switch for raiders to spawn on reserve. So what they want to do is hit the power switch to farm raiders, and what you're abusing is the fact if you know that they're going to do that, and we're not going to wait for them in extract camp, we're going to let the fact that they're doing their own thing benefit us. So what we would do is we'd come over here, wait for power to go online, we'd hit the switch, and just leave. So if you don't get the flash drives, you can just leave, and if you do get the flash drives, you just wait until the timer's out, you've been in raid for 7 minutes, and then you just leave, and you're good to go. You didn't even see anybody. You just, you know, you could camp if you want to. I mean, I wouldn't extract camp if it were me, but this will be the reserve. Let me hop into customs, guys. So this is customs, and it requires us to farm 2 storage arms. It's going to require any combination of 3 keys. The dorm room 110 key, the dorm room 114 key, as well as the dorm room 105 key. Now, this part does require keys, so if you don't have any keys, you can kind of just skip this, but you are definitely able to get these keys pretty easily. 105 is located right here, where inside the room, you're going to actually see there's a safe right here, which you can loot and has a chance to have a flash drive. Now, on top of there being dorm room 105, you can hop over here, and there are 2 rooms next to each other, dorm room 110 and 114. Now, what makes farming this route actually really good is you can loot 114, and you will see inside there is a safe right there that you can loot, and dorm room 110. So there are 3 safes to get filing cabinets from, but not only that, this bed right here where the Zibbo is actually a fuel con and a flash drive spawn. So you have to loot these safes and check here for a flash drive. And then not only that, but there are 2 sets of filing cabinets upstairs. One being in this room right there, and then there's a double set of filing cabinets right here as well. So you have 3 sets of cabinets as well as 3 safes and a flash drive spawn all right there. Really great route, high traffic area, requires keys, but it's there if you want to use it. So I almost forgot, but on top of looting all of 2-story dorms at the safes, you actually can head back behind 2-story dorms, and there is a little campsite back here that actually has 2 USB spawns. So one of those spawns being right here next to the duffel bag on the right of the bag, it'll be right there, as well as right under the guitar. Now there are some other places I've seen them on customs, like in the customs office, the room with the computers. I've actually seen them on the floor next to the computer, so not in the computer but on the floor next to it, so make sure you check that as well. And also USB van, which is over this way. I'll show you what that guy looks like right now. So this last spawn is called the USB van, and it is over in between like all the warehouses. ZB011 that way, the train car is that way, and over at this blue van over here actually has 2 computers, and both of which are known to spawn USB sticking out of the front of it like that. So if you ever buy here, make sure you check that out as well. So this last route being on woods, where I actually got 2 of my flash drives, is that is the scav house over there. We're on the outskirts half of the map, outskirts being that way, and this is the attachment shack to my left. We're going to be running all the way up this way towards the sawmill. The lake is on my right, and over at the right before the sawmill is going to be called USB tent. It's a little campsite with a tent, and right at the front of the tent is actually a USB spawn. I got 2 of mine here. One was my first raid that I played this way. Pretty common spawn, little like pretty well known, honestly, and it's a little annoying to get to sometimes, but if you can't knock it on customs or reserve, this is definitely a worthy place to check. I've also found lots of beef stews here as well, as there's meds there. But right here, right where you see actually was a flash drive right here, and I found 2 of mine here this way, so I would check this out if you guys haven't. Guys, that was the guide. I hope it was helpful. If you find any of these items, definitely comment down below. Let everyone else know where you got the items so that they can also get their stuff and get through the quest. If you want more wipe tips, I have a wipe guide. I will leave a link down below and at the end of the video as well. Check that out and come by the stream if you have any more questions. I'm doing the gunsmith builds. I will be uploading a video of all the new gunsmith builds, as well as answering any questions I have in my Discord or in my stream as well. Enjoy, guys. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.